Good day, everyone. I am Vanessa Lambu, and I am here to report my topic, which is the cognitive developments of infants and toddlers. We have sensory motor stage and pre-operational stage, but let's go first to the sensory motor stage. So, the sensory motor stage is the first of the four stages in Piaget's theory of cognitive development. It extends from birth to approximately 2 years and its period of rapid growth. It is marked by the child discovering the differences between themselves and their environment. At this point, they will use their senses to learn things about themselves and their environment. So, from the word itself, sensory. So they use their all sensory senses. So, Jean Piaget, a Swiss psychologist who developed the theory of intellectual development, said children learn about their world at this stage through their senses, which are seeing, touching, sucking, and feeling. So, the main development during the sensory motor stage is the understanding that objects exist and even occur in the world independently of one's actions. The object concepts or the object permanence. So, what is object permanence? Object permanence is the awareness of that object exists even when you cannot see them. Example, when you hide an object under the blanket and the child tries to find it. So yeah. Next, the sensory motor stages. First, we have reflex acts. This stage happens within the first month of an infant's life, which when reflexive acts of a baby first begin. For example, if you brush your finger against a baby's face, they will instinctively start sucking. Next stage, we have primary circular reaction. Children will find pleasure acts around their body throughout this stage. It happens during their first months of life. This stage is distinguished by wriggling their fingers, kicking their legs, or sucking their thumbs. These activities differ from the previous stage of reflexive actions in that they are performed on purpose. So, as you hear, kanang parehaon siya sa ay ang iyang kalahian sa first nga sensory motor stage kay ang kaning primary circular reaction kay tinuyo nilag buhat, unlike sa reflex acts kay murag automatically ra nga mo respond ilang body ana, but the primary is gituyo nilag buhat. So next stage is the secondary circular reaction. In this stage, it is typically lasts from about 4 to 8 months. Now, babies repeat pleasurable actions that involves objects as well as actions involving their body. Example, the infant who shakes the rattle for the pleasure of hearing the sound that it produces. Next stage is the coordinating secondary schemes. It's between 8 to 12 months. In this stage, instead of simply prolonging interesting events, babies now show signs of an ability to use their acquired knowledge to reach a goal. Example, the infant will not just shake the rattle but will reach out and knock to one side of an object that stands in the way of it getting hold of the rattle. Next stage is the tertiary circular reaction, which also known as novelty and curiosity. So, this stage sees children adapting their tactics to their surrounding. The infant who explored an object by taking it apart now tries to put it back together. So, example. It stacks the bricks it took out of its wooden truck back again, or it puts everything back together. Next, the symbolic thought. This is transitional to the pre-operational stage of cognitive development. Babies can now form mental representations of objects. This means that they have developed their ability to visualize things that are not physically present. This is crucial to the acquisition of object permanence, the most fundamental achievement of the whole sensory motor stage of development. So let's go to the cognitive development of a toddler, which is the pre-operational stage. The pre-operational stage is the second stage in Piaget's theory of cognitive development. This stage begins around 2 as the children start to talk and at last until approximately age of 7. During this stage, children begin to engage in symbolic play and learn to manipulate symbols. However, Piaget noted that they do not yet understand concrete logic. Language development is one of the hallmarks of this period. And during this stage, children also become increasingly adept at using symbols, as evidenced by increase in playing and pretending. For example, a child is able to use an object to represent something else, such as pretending a comb to use as microphone. So next, we have here substages of pre-operational stages. And first, symbolic functions, ages 2 to 4. In this stage, children develop mental representations of objects in the world around them during this substage. A drawing, a written word, or a spoken words comes to be understood as representing a real object. Next substage is the intuitive thoughts, ages 4 to 7. In this stage, children begin to rely more on logic than just perception alone. In this stage, their ability to solve problems is more logical, but they may not be capable of explaining how they think or why they think that way. So, the pre-operational stages. Earlier was the sub-stages of pre-operational, and this one is the pre-operational stages. So first, egocentrism. It refers to the child's inability to see a situation from another person's point of view. The egocentric child assumes that other people see, hear, and feel exactly the same as a child does. Children's thoughts and communication are typically egocentric. Next, centration. Centration is the tendency to focus on one aspect of a situation at a time. Example, glasses of water in the same amount but in different sizes, but a child sees the bigger one as more amount. So yeah. Next, parallel play. It is to say that they often play in the same room as other children, but they play next to each other rather than with them. Each child is absorbed in its own private world, and speech is egocentric. That is to say, the main function of speech at this stage is to externalize the child thinking rather than to communicate with others. Next, pretend play. Toddlers often pretend to be people they are not. Example, superhero, policeman, doctor, and etc. And may play these roles with props that symbolizes real life objects. Children may also invent an imaginary playmate. Next, animism. Animism is the belief that inanimate objects such as toys or teddy bears have feelings and intentions. That's why perspective na siya sa mga toddlers. So next, the irreversibility. Irreversibility is the inability to reverse the direction of a sequence of events to their starting point. equations can be example 2 plus 2 plus 4. I mean 3 minus 2 equals 1, but 1 minus 1 plus 2 is 3, but toddlers can't get that way. Okay, so I think it's all for today. I mean, it's all for my topic, and thank you everyone for listening.